Hi folks, this is Bruce here in Korea. Haven't made any videos for a very long time. There are many reasons for that, which I won't get into today because, well, they're just long and complex. However, the reasons for today's video are two. This is reason number one, and this is reason number two. These two beautiful flutes were made just for me by a Canadian maker who goes by the name of Darrell Hibbard. He lives in Ontario, Canada, up near Point Clark. Darrell has been making Native American style flutes for the past 6 years. Originally he was an environmental engineer, and now he's retired. He's also a musician, and for a number of years he made violins. So what he's done is taken his violin crafting techniques and applied many of them to creating Native American style flutes. Now Darrell makes and supplies these flutes to a number of different places, in Canada mostly. One of them is the Oliver M. Smith School at the Six Nations in southern Ontario. So far he's made 40 or 50 flutes for this school, plus an additional 40 or 50 for other places around Canada, most of them dealing with Native Americans. So I'm going to show you these flutes today. Darrell contacted me and said, hey, I like your channel and I make flutes and I'd like to make and send you some. And would you be interested? And I thought, sure, send them. Wow, how gracious, how wonderful. And so I'll tell you a little bit about these flutes as I show them to you. He asked me, what flutes do you need? And I thought, well, I've got quite a big collection of flutes actually, so I don't really need any, but low B minor, I told him, was underrepresented in my collection. I only have one. So I said, okay, I'll make a B minor for you. So here's the B minor flute that he's made, and this is a real beauty. Darrell doesn't use a lathe when he makes his flutes. He carves these all by hand, but he also makes his own tools. As I said before, he was a violin maker, so he's taking the technology and the craftsmanship that he's applied when making violins and transferred much of that to making Native American style flutes. And then, of course, innovating new tools as he goes. So he doesn't make a lathe, or he doesn't use a lathe, excuse me. So that what that means is the hole in the mouthpiece can be made off center. It doesn't have to be in a straight line as it would be if you made this on a lathe. So it can be made actually lower here, which makes it easier for you to play in regards to the attitude that you hold it against your body. So let me just go through and show you what Darrell does when he makes these flutes. One of his trademarks is to use at least 2 different kinds of wood, which as you can see he's done here. So the woods he's using are cedar, and then this top here is made out of cherry. And notice he's got this these ribs going down the side. And it's just really a nice touch. It adds such a aesthetic flavor to the whole flute. And of course he has some more of the traditional Native American style ornaments. He's got some beads with the leather straps, a really beautiful peacock feather here. Okay, more beads. And here's where we get a little bit of the cross-cultural thing going on. If you look at this fetish, it's got a scroll design which clearly suggests old world. What I really like about this too is Darrell makes the fingerboards on these flat, which makes it quite easy to play. Okay, the fingers just fall on it so naturally. And I have to say, this flute just feels good. It just feels really well made, which it is. The second flute that Darrell Hibbard has made for me is this D sharp. And again, just as with the B minor, he's using two different kinds of wood. This time, he's got some spalted beech here in the center, sandwiched between two very nice slabs of red cedar. And if you look at the fetish on this one, again, he's using his trademark, I guess you would say, scroll design fetish. And that's also a nice piece of spalted beech. Again, we have the more traditional style ornamentation with the beads and the peacock feather. And notice the woodwork here. So I'm going to give you an example of how this one sounds, just like I did for the B minor. And then when this demonstration is finished, please continue to watch the video, because what you're going to see is the step-by-step process of Darrell's construction of this B minor flute. So he was wise enough to take photos of the process as he was making it and send them to me. So this is quite interesting, because then you can see how the flute transforms. You can also see some of the tools that he's made and used on the construction of this flute. Then after that sequence, you'll also see a series of photos that were taken by my colleague here at the university where I work here in Korea. We went down on the ball field into the university's logo, this big logo that's painted on the ground, because the logo is blue, and we thought that made a nice background and nice contrast for the flutes. So we spent some time positioning the flutes, and he got down on his belly and took some really great close-up shots, so you can get a chance to see these flutes in fine detail. So please continue to watch the rest of the video to see all of these.